Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Danny and I want to not beat around the bush and give you any fluff at the moment. I think I need to do a lot of meditation and clear out my own chakras, hence I've been fluffing around and losing the point of exactly why I started a channel and what my mission is and what my purpose is, basically, okay? We all are given a life purpose, and I feel like in 2017 my whole life was building up to a moment. Basically, I am working with Glastonbury heart chakra. The whole world is alive. We are the organisms of earth. We are not see, when I want to talk properly, it is like there are literally no words, because the situation is just so large and it's not really able to put into words, okay? As much as I want to talk sense to you, this is a nonsensical in the way that we are perceiving things in our senses at the moment. It is not able to be really put into language. And at the moment, like I say, I'm talking and I'm self-sabotaging. My mind is racing. I feel like I'm like pretty ADHD at the moment. And yeah, right. So we are not the miracle of earth. And as much as we say that the angels have faces and voices, we are interpreting the energy of light as how we can understand the angelic realms, just how we can only understand time in lineage and not as a whole thing happening at one point. That's not our job. We are the organisms of earth. We're made of everything on earth, every thought on earth. The internet is the final example of what we've all been doing ecstatically with our own human antennae since the beginning of time. We have always been able to project thoughts, images, ideas. Everything that can be learned is happening in a whole time. Everything that has ever happened is happening now, right? So this is where, when I'm trying to explain what my mission is, I'm trying to reassure you that we need to let go of all of the fear and all of the fluff, and realize that the world is alive, just like we have living organisms all over us right now that we can't see. We are the organisms on earth. We are the voices and the eyes and the hands that can pick up and move things. As much as earth moves things around herself, we're the final product, that we are just part of the earth, okay? We're the hairs, the fleas. And like I said, I do believe that as much as that's hard to comprehend, the reason there are a lot of evil in the planet, it's not even a real soul. It's right. Don't just come right off subject. I found Glastonbury. I'd always had it in my mind, but I'd always felt like I was absolutely in fear of my own mind. I was a clairvoyant since a child, always in and out of, dipping out of visions, ideas, voices, feeling spirits around me. I ended up moving next to a very old church in an area that, if a psychic came here, apparently there's so much here. It's called Chiltern. There's just a lot of souls here. And in this particular house, I feel like I was protected immediately from the last house that I lived in, where I was picking up quite a lot. I couldn't even be I was in my 20s and I couldn't even be on my own in this particular house. It's been happening all my life. And this man was a bricklayer in this old house that I was in. And he was bugging me every time I was on my own. Even at 5:30 after work, I was literally shit scared until my partner had come in, that he was breathing down my neck, all sorts. So I move here and I'm next to a church, and there's a big Black Death mound burial here that came in from London. There's a lot of spirits here, right? So then I found Glastonbury Tour through my own mind. I've also was going off track, like I am right now in my life, in 2016, and was able to see Isis goddess come in and redirect me and say, I need you to do this. And what I'm trying to say now clearly is that for about a year and a half, after she fully came to me and changed the direction of what I was doing, which was totally wrong at the time, I followed her every insight. I followed the human Taurus, I followed crows, I put stones in special places for just forever. And when I got into Glastonbury Festival in 2017, I had committed to saying that I will work with you, I will help you, okay? So right from the minute I got in the festival, and I have had normal festivals since, I just straight away was contacted by angels. I could hear them in my tent. I could hear them singing Heyo Nirvana. I'd say I'm going into a big story. I don't want to sit here and convince you, okay? But for the whole weekend, I gave everything to that festival, every single thought. Now, let me just explain a little bit that I have got a high IQ. I was really intelligent at school and like nearly the top in my school, but never hard at working, and should have been, everyone was saying I should have been a doctor and an accountant, and I had a special brain, and I just didn't really use it like that. And I'm not saying that you haven't got a special brain, because we can all get to this point that I'm talking about. But basically, I'm a bit nuts and I think deeper. I think, basically, I've always been trying to activate the heart chakra of the world. And as soon as I ended up connecting in Glastonbury Festival in 2017, everybody said I changed after that point. And I got to a point in the festival where I followed, the year before I'd gone and seen a healer, a different sort of healer, a very quiet tent. It was like an African tent. And immediately every worry I'd ever had in my life had been lifted. And I'd realised, and I basically seen like King Solomon and David and Saint David. And like, yeah, right, okay. So that's how I came out of 2016, after seeing Isis previous 6 months before. So it was about a year and a half build up of just knowing that I was absolutely, for once in my life, basically I sent the spirits that were bugging me in like 2015, 2016, I sent them to the tour, and everything was relieved. I went up the tour regularly at that point, and it just let every fear, every time I went up the tour, she took away from me. And I was like, my goodness, I feel different. I feel absolutely different. And for the first time in my life, I was 25 or 26, and I felt like that I wasn't in my fear zone, where I was being bugged by my own trollish ancestral behaviour, devil things that I've been picked up over the years. And I've been suffering from this since I was a little girl, where I'd lived in my first house. I seen a man that had died in my room, chipping tiles, and he bloody chipped his face or something. He looked round at me in the mirror with a very unfair look on his face of, why did I die? And most ghosts, if you do have these experiences, are usually bitter, and it's from a bitter time, and I just never felt safe. Glastonbury helped me feel safe connecting with Glastonbury, so I worked further and further on with her, and the Isis goddess stopped me from going in a totally different direction in my life, and she knew I was there for her. So we get into Glastonbury Festival, and the week is just crazy, and I'm trying to invoke all sorts. I'm trying to interview people at one point, talking about minus and plus energy. It just took one conversation in the healing grounds with this Chinese bloke to just like boom me into like thinking about trying to wake up the planet. And back in 2017, we weren't as open as we are now. And I was going around just saying to people, how can we use our voices to get a movement going? And I was almost trying to say, like, even just too much detail here, but I was just going around interviewing people, and people were thinking I was crazy and I was ruining their time. And Foo Fighters were playing on the Saturday night, and I was going around like whispering things, really connected to something bloody crazy, to be honest with you, it felt. So I was doing my partner's head in, and ended up not sleeping at all the Saturday night, poor thing. And he does sleep well, and he's the groundedness in me. But it came to the Sunday evening, and it was after Ed Sheeran's set, where he did something very shamanic with his foot pedal. I don't want to go into too much absolute detail, but I followed it. The thing is, if I go into too much detail, it just sounds too crazy, but I followed 1,000 things that night. Had built up for a year and a half, 1 million things nearly. like so many little steps where I had a headset and I was talking, because this is the way we act on earth in our human realm, is how it is presented in the universe of all the conscious light beings that don't even have a face, say these angels, that project down to make earth, to make everything that's going on, and to make us, and stop pinpointing that humans are so important when we are just part of this big picture, okay? So in the angelic realms, there are councils of, like an internet, where there are councils and councils of lawyers, and like it goes higher and higher into the courts of heaven, where I suppose, you know, God, and you know that everyone's in it, everyone's in the council. And it was like they were trying to, it maybe the future of the AI wiring or whatever was, you know how you've got where you can hack into a system with a code. Evil, low entity, dark matter was trying to hack into our plan to raise the vibration of the planet. And I was being told all these codes in my mind, following every single place that these angels wanted me to look at. At one point, I even had like a break zone place where I met Angel Raphael, and he was healing me, and then I had to keep running, and I nearly died that night, basically. I nearly hyperventilated. It was just crazy. But the bad dark matter was trying to hack into our system, the unity conscious, Christ conscious system, the system that Jesus Christ set up. And like every thought, man, like everything that's ever happened on TV or radio, anything that's ever happened in a awake being on this planet, Buddha, Jesus, all the guys before him, is still fluffing around in a cloud, and we can all get there. And the reason a lot of us are struggling to get there is because of the fear, and the planet is ill, okay? And we are all riddled with trauma, and we are trying to find our center, and none of us are going to be able to find our center very easily, because there's nobody in their center at the moment. And that's why when you try and plan how you're going to find your center, you usually mess yourself up. You have to try and flow with every heart. It's the heart that is the most important organ. And the heart of the England is in England. I don't believe it's just in Glastonbury. It's in Stonehenge. It's it's in England. And all of this has been hooked up right from the back from Atlantis, and there's more previous years have been the Egyptians that have created a stone. Stones have very small electric current in them, and human beings, where they've been walking, have created Leylines, magical people, special people that are carrying conscious coding to upgrade, have created Leylines. All the churches in England have been put on these Leylines in the exact position they need to be put in, because thousands of years ago, it was clear that we were going to go through this long, drawn-out process of lies and cover-ups to make us feel the way we are feeling right now. And they knew it was going to happen. These days, we have Glastonbury Festival. It has started off with good intention. I'm not even sure now if the ley lines might be being manipulated. Nobody knows to a deep degree, and that is not the point we're trying to make here. What we're trying to make is that there are sacred stones all over Glastonbury, and there is a very special stone. There could even be Jesus's body brang here. Jesus did visit here, and he was educated in England when he was 15 with his uncle. This is not why I'm doing this story today, and I will fill you in more and stop talking shit, because as much as I've lost track of why I'm bloody on the internet, I'm on the internet to show you that the world is alive, and it's like a human being. The heart is in England, and you cannot fix the world without giving it a jump start from the heart, okay? So that's why there was a lot of focus in England from that's why we have ruled the planet, because it's the heart. Good examples of how the ocean is like the blood of the earth. We have one of the strongest currents here. I think another strong current is in, so I'm going off subject again, China or somewhere, but we have a really strong current here that even Atlantis survivors could have been brought into the Glastonbury area. And as far as the tour, it creates blood, iron, water and calcium. It's probably a very ancient like system that's just been lost within time of why Glastonbury is so focused. But basically the reason is because like blood flows, that's why the current strong there is because it's the heart. And this is why the hippies who have traveled when they were in the 70s have come from Indian connections, teachings all over the world. They weren't just mad people on drugs, believe me. That's why they focused on Glastonbury, because that's the place. And there are some sacred stones, the chalice, there is sacred things here. All of the people were buried here all over the years, from Avalon, King Solomon, all of them, King Arthur, the myth or legend or fact, it's all here, and it's all focused back into Glastonbury. Now, when the festival happens, there are stones on the tour and in the abbey and Leylines, and what happens is the pyramid stage, which is in line with the pyramids of Egypt, put together by special people like Arabella Churchill, Winston Churchill's granddaughter, very special people that have had a lot of power actually and money has been put into making Glastonbury Festival happen, and it has been tried to be stopped. But when it happens, I'm losing it again. The vibrations are in the tour, which are the same dimensions as the pyramids of Giza. It is then knocking into the stones, this egg stone that I have done a video about, and I will go. I promise I'm going up there. That vibrates then and soaks in the energy of the festival, and you will see that it's right in line with the festival. And that then reverberates back to Stonehenge and all the other sites. All of the stone places around the world get ignited to be able to send new messages. We are the vessels and the heads that can send these new messages to Earth, that we are listening to her and how her heart has been traumatized. She is aching. She needs us to listen to her. And I think we are starting to, but there is so much manipulation on this planet that just have faith that she is calling you. And when I went in there in 2017, I cannot even explain in detail about how much synchronization and absolute like quantum alignment happened for that festival, even down to the fact I was on my period. I just happened to put my tent on the Thursday right in line on the pyramid stage, in line on a ley line with the tour, just right in this place. And I was just having mad nights every night on this ley line. I went up into the circus fields, which were run by Arabella, and I realised while I was hovering around there on the Saturday night, and I chimed a triangle, and there was lots of mad things going on. And when I chimed this triangle with these 3 other people that also had a pull to chime the triangle, it was about me saying, I am listening, and I'm making every step with my intuition to follow what you need, whatever it is you need. So it was mind, body and spirit, and 9 triangle that I try. Okay, it's very confusing. I'm not going to go into massive amounts of detail now. I have done another previous video about it. Yeah, but ran around the festival on the Sunday, nearly died basically on my own, ran away from my partner. Ended up with a group of people. We ended up just trancing into a God state mind and connecting with all of the angels and all of the extraterrestrial people. These people might have just been not mad themselves and woke up the same the next day like me, what was going on, or it might have been on organisation, but it was a miracle how I ended up with these people at the end of the festival. It wasn't a coincidence. It was just meant to be. And everything I went through that night, I had to be so strong. Every fear, at one point, even seen a fake soul take, I was hearing everything that everybody was thinking. So I've always got distracted in a conversation because I always feel like I can hear people's minds ticking over what they're actually thinking. Very good at reading someone's. It's where I will really, really like someone, usually, like really connect with them, or I won't. It's like there's no in between sometimes. I can just read people. And this particular night I was activated to hear every part of everybody's soul. And it was just crazy. There was these people hanging around pylons that just loved the fuzz, and they're waiting for the world to like end. And I don't even believe that these people were born through God. They're born through dark matter, and they're not going to survive much longer, and their power is dying out. But basically I could hear everybody's soul at night. I ended up being part of a group where we split ourselves down to about 3 or 4 people, and I did say I was God mind. So they used my mind to say unity, to flip reverse the poles, to forgive the devil. We realised that the devil was part of light, and the dark matter was totally different. Dark matter is unconscious, and it's part of the dark hole, and it's around us always. And it grips onto the energy of light, but it has no real power. It is just using the power of light. So it used the devil, but it has no power. And the devil has said that and these things usually take 7 years to reverberate back down onto the planet. And he has come home. Like a spoiled child, he did not want to join the dark matter, because dark matter has nothing to offer him other than dark matter. So he's come back to the light, and he is made of light. But if we are going to move forwards in the planet, we need to heal the heart. And that might mean, like we've been saying, coming right out of your box, your comfortable box. I bet 100% we're all not living and speaking from our hearts as much as we can get away with without offending. And sometimes we do have to cause offence to speak from our heart, and there is nothing you need to drop these fears, because if you offend somebody and they disappear in your life, and that's what you needed them to do, then that's what you need to drop, the massive fake big deals that you're making. You will do this through following your either self-destruction patterns. I've aggressively danced it out over the years. I've finally come down to peace, where I am doing yoga every day for the last year. But a lot of the time I used to just bang into the floor and hurt my neck for about an hour, just raving, just like real tense dancing, and just learning how to express the energy off of your body in all different ways. Like mine is I had such a tense neck born, and I am better now than when I was younger, but a lot of us are holding so much stiffness, and we can get it out by sometimes, like when you see people at raves that have got no love, they haven't been shown how, they're so stiff, but they're still trying, and that's where they're at, and they're stiffly bouncing out what they need to bounce out. And then there's the lighter stages of getting that last bit out of you. But we are all needing a good rinse of our energy. Our energies are the size of a football pitch. You're obviously aware that Glastonbury Festival's happening in two weeks' time. I'm going to the festival. I'm hoping, like last year, I had a normal experience last year. And the year before, I had a totally normal experience. Who knows this year? I think it would be up to my choice. These things don't usually happen to you without you choosing to. And as much as I think I did my bit, where I went really, really deep into my own subconscious mind for 2 years, and did my bit for the planet Earth, and realising that about the heart chakra, and just realising that what I'm trying to say to you is, I've been convincing you for ages. So I'm still trying to convince you now. I seemed like the future when I came out of Glastonbury that year. And it was just crazy. Everything that I seen. And I was telling people everything that I could see. I seen coronavirus coming. And I wish I'd said more to people at the time. It's always the way as well. Because I was saying a lot about when I came out in 2017. About the NHS. And about viruses. And everybody burning off to their frequency and having to make a decision. I seen it all on the Saturday night in my tent where we all, but I've just seen the future coming, and I was almost not happy when coronavirus came, but I was assured that everything was going to be fine, really, in a way. I was in hospital with a premature baby at the time, but I still knew, and just like I know now that we've got a long way to go, but we are on the right path. So Glastonbury Festival last year, when I came home, I did hear, the only time I had a massive clairvoyant experience when I came home was I heard something through a bath, and it was like coming through heart radio, and they were saying, well done, Danny, you've been amazing. And it was an American voice, like a healing American voice going, yeah, no. And it's going right on when I was thinking, what is this? I really wasn't even that freaked out, because I'm used to hearing things over the, when I come out of a festival because of the noise all week and the shamanic experience of being in the heart chakra of the world. It's more than just a music festival. So I heard this, and then I heard heart radio blur. This is all in like the running of the water, and I heard heart radio go beep, heart radio and all that blood. And I thought, God, something's just come through the radio to tell me well done. And then it was a few months later that I picked up the thoughts about doing a YouTube channel. I thought, no, never, ever. Like, really had so much heart palpitations about it. Like, did a little course and and I just thought, no. And then like 6 months later, it just seemed right to me. And I'm thinking that the American voice that came through the tap was is saying that, well done, Danny, for trying what I'm doing now, right? Which what I'm doing now is pretty random, and I'm being crazy because I'm talking all over the place. But I'm going to Glastonbury Festival in 2 weeks. What we do now, I'm not going to go embarrassing myself and screaming around going, Nirvana, the heart, because everyone does that. And it's not going to do any good. It's not, everyone's just going to think, yeah, that lady's a bit crazy. She's on one, Right. So just, if you've got any messages for the festival, if you want to work with me, if you want to, then I'm here, and I'm going, because I don't know the next move, and neither do you, but I know that the heart is the first place for healing, and it's sending out messages, and Glastonbury Festival is the focus in a few weeks. It used to be right on summer solstice, and it's not anymore, and I don't know if that's people trying to stop us from getting our true power, but we're all trying to raise our vibration. And Glastonbury wants you to know that, and England wants you to know that the heart is here. And for you, your next steps will be your next thoughts from your heart. Okay, so some of you might be so entangled into a life that is not heartfelt and not what you chose and what you're just doing to stay comfortable, that you might have to undo and strip it all back down. But I can promise you, if you make the decision to follow your heart, the world, the earth, the angels is there for you. It's what she wants you to do. And for thousands of years, look back in the witch times, like people like me would have been killed right from birth, basically. So we've never had a chance to be as open as we are now. And who knows if it might close down. I mean, I'm not trying to spread fear again, but if the internet disappeared, we need to work as hard as we can now. Well, we are connected at the moment, and as much as there are scary things happening everywhere, we are still we have the opportunity to, and it usually takes a bloody disaster, doesn't it, for us to really home in with making changes for the well-being of us, because most of us would rather stay comfortable, and I understand that. But if you feel you need to turn towards the light and ask for help, basically, and you can ask any form of how you perceive the world, if whether it's Jesus, whether but you need to face the light and say, I'm here and I'm ready to receive. And you will be taken down journeys. You probably have to strip yourself down to a worrying point where you've hardly got any money or respect, but it will bounce back in masses, and you'll know when you're doing the right thing and when you're not. And I took so many risks in my life, and I can honestly say, and I swear on my life, that I have not got everything in the world, but I have got everything that I have asked for. And if that's what you think abundance is, I really, truly have. Of course, we could, the mind could go on and want, but I really, really did come into this world with an aching heart, and I was so satisfied that I did that for the heart chakra. I didn't just, I'm ready to push on. I swear, I'm working with her. And like I used to explain to people, that as many people that were in that festival that night, there was nobody that was being as bloody crazy as me for 2 years before, doing a witch basically, you know. And I was so satisfied coming out that festival knowing I'd done my bit. And you will feel so satisfied and whole in your heart, and your health will rebound, your thyroid, you won't put on weight so easy. All sorts of things will happen to you once you get your heart satisfied. I also have all the children I want. I wouldn't want any more children. I just have everything I want right now, guys, to a degree, you know, like really, truly, like, that's why but I was never born in that position, mind. Please believe me that I've lived in all areas of my life. I was really downgraded at school, where my family, I'm part of like 2 different sides of 2 different families. Yeah, so I've always felt very, very, very scruffy, but also poor and rich as well. Like I know how it feels to feel right down there and be called a scruff bum, and I know what it's like to feel respected because of family members. So believe me, I'm a confused character right in the middle, and I'm here with you. And Glastonbury Festival, Glastonbury wants to work with me, and many other people, I'm sure. But I'm ready for the next move. We need to live through our hearts. We need to be embarrassing. We need to speak when we need to speak. We need to follow those little itches when we feel like we're going to jump off a cliff, and we need to follow them, big or small. And as much as it's all been laid out, we still have to make the movements. And there's probably like 3 different ways we can do this. Probably not just exactly one quantum way of healing the planet and how it's going to work next. But we do need to just note that we are not the miracle of the earth. The whole universe is a miracle, and how it all works. We are the original satellites. Christ was the original Apple. He was the original, you know, networker. God, the devil, it's all coming back. It's all beautiful. It's all timeless. We are the vessels. So yeah, as much as I'm going to have a really good time in Glastonbury Festival, I am here for the festival. I also carve thoughts constantly, awake or asleep, ever since that day, just constantly saying, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. It's like a readiness feeling. And I probably do need to do some actual serious meditation and healing for myself at the moment, because I'm constantly daydreaming and finding it. And I am coping with normal 3D chores better than I've ever coped with mind. So there must be something going right. You know, you always know when your heart's thumping, when something's going wrong. Follow your bloody heart pumps. Don't you dare go to the doctor saying I'm anxious and get something to stop your heart from pumping, make you feel numb, all right? Your heart is pumping for a reason, okay? And you're feeling depressed for a reason. It's a breakdown of the ego. It's a breakdown of who you thought you were, and it's not real. And that can piss you off and feel very, very lost. And you need to sit in the dark sometimes of yourself for a very long time when you realise that. But believe me, yeah, right, we're working together, and we all need healing, and it all needs to. There's going to be a lot of disasters, I feel, for the next 7 years. Natural disasters, human disasters. Listen to your intuition. Get yourself out of trouble when needed. Sometimes when you're going to see that something's been cancelled for you, and you're going to be like, oh, it ruined my life. It's to save your life, I'm sure. And if you're a good enough soul, which loads of us are on this planet, then you follow those steps. And sometimes it might mean that you're skint for a few months. It might mean that, but it will pull you into the right direction. And I just wish everybody the best luck over the next few years, and just to keep knowing when you know something is true and when something is off, and try not to funnel, and try and stay in the center as much as you can, because the more we're in the center, the more the planet can then whoosh in the new information, the new ideas, is when we're in the center. When we're off and we're fluffing around, it can't work. It's a connection. It's like a plug. So I've been fluffing around on my channel. It's not helping this plug feeling of like, I need to say to the tour, to Glastonbury, I'm here, I'm ready. I'm ready to get masses of people to think exactly in the direction I'm thinking, and we're all going to massively connect with you. My mission would be to get like 50,000 plus people all singing, either in body or over the internet, singing Hey Yo Nirvana, Hey Yo, on and singing. Mind you, in this Hey Yo Nirvana song, it's all of the feelings of everything. It's basically anything you want to sing. I feel like the devil was going like do 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 do, because obviously that's low bass noises, and then there's the high sounds. But we all need to get together with one, not fluff, not all this, because it needs to be a direct connection and a direct, we're here. We're not in control anymore. We're ready to see what you want to the earth, because we've put so much change and misdirection on the earth, and she's just begging for a last chance to be heard, and she's going to be heard through Glastonbury. The changes in the planet that will ripple through to the world will happen in Glastonbury. Yeah, and I'm going to say it, I'm here to help you understand those ripples, and I'm here to embody, not only as someone that has embodied the release from this area, but I have made a decision with the devil, basically, that I am helping the world come back to unity. I'm helping the fizzle fuzzle come off. This is why we're doing dancing. This is why we're singing. This is why we're shouting. This is why we're smoking. This is why we're drinking. This is why but then hopefully not all the time. We do different things all the time. We flow, we ebb. It's a changing time every day. I die to find some more inner peace where I'm not latching on to vices constantly in life, because I bloody do. You know, and my vices are better than usual. I had a terrible weekend this weekend. I pulled up at McDonald's twice and picked a wrap, because it never does me any good when I have 3 or 4 burgers from there, because that's what I can do, you know. It takes me weeks to feel better after doing that. But, you know, just note where you're going wrong and note what you're doing right. Get that heart pumping. Find grace. Find peace. Find unity. Do some bloody history. Do what you need to do to get yourself to a point where I got to, where it was no more, I need to know this, I need to know that, I need to know this. Because you go through that for a fucking long time. And I spent like literally 6 months on the sofa with quite a messy house, breastfeeding, watching information programs, until I got to a point where it was just it was crazy, okay? But you need to do that, because you need to find a point where you go like this. Well, I'm ready for non-duality. I'm ready for you. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to work with 5D. I'm ready to work with Christ. I'm ready to start an internet connection and beam your truth from your heart. There is so much trauma on your heart. You have got so many different granddads and generations and energy in you. All of us have. No one's, whether you're too fucking pure or you're too down there, we all need to try and find this middling ground. And when you find the middling ground, you'll realise that every dirty thing that's ever happened is part of you. And it can be very unsettling. And you can go into a point where you just do not understand. And that is fine. And that's the point where you need to be in. But you also need to be ready for that next bit of upgrade for the planet that is trying to push out. So I want you to let as many people know that Glastonbury Festival is the magical point of this planet. It's not just a music festival. It has gypsies there, healers, people working with the ground like never before for a very, very, very long time. And they're still there now, these gypsies, and that some of them not so much loud in there anymore, but they'll get in there. And if not, they're working with the planet. And now we are all working right from Stonehenge. And that night on summer, when we're all in Glastonbury Festival, when the Glastonbury Festival's on, I want you to think about what chakra you're near in your country, and see what you can do from your point, okay? But I'm letting you know that obviously a heart is really important and I'm here to pump out and not ruin my reputation too much. You know, there's only so much I can do as one little person without being in the news for being crazy or something in Glastonbury Festival. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, I don't know, I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah. But I'm going to Glastonbury Festival. I'm ready to give whatever message you want to the heart. I've even had ideas of going up the tour, not when it's on, and like writing messages that you want and then burning them, and I don't know, doing something that makes sure that the heart knows that you have signed up. Like, of course, you've signed up to Earth, to Mother, that you'll want to work with her, and you're going to forget all the other bullshit, and you're going to try and do your bit to get it out. And that might be Mother Earth wants you to bloody relax and get high. Mother Earth might want you to just, what Mother Earth wants you to do, right? You're going to go and do that, aren't you? Yeah? You promised me. Oh, I've got a lot of mess and it's raining, and I'm not going to go on myself because it's not a fucking podcast. This is a channel where I'm trying to show you that as much as all this healing fluff, that the world has spoken up, and the angels are part of the big spirograph of information that's happening all in one fucking time, and it's all happening now, all right? And it's that big now, and I've got so much resistance in my body and non-belief still that I'm getting rid of in every second and every breath, and I'm really trying to learn through yoga how every single breath you can let go of all these. You are part of sound, and every ache in your hips is all false. That's what, and it's all memories, and that's why it aches when you try and release it, because it's there from when you were born. It's there forever. All these like the feelings of forever in all of your hips and all of your bones, and you just need to get breathing and saying to all of this that's in your energy field, you need to go. And it's not that you're angry with this energy for being there. It's more of an okay. It's okay, and you are fine, and you can go. And it's a recognition, not a push it to the side of these things that are in you. Okay, they need to come out and say it's okay. I'm going to stop. But I do hope it was a little bit less bullshit today. You know, like as much as I love being human, and I'm glad that I'm not because at one point I was just literally just sweating, trying to tell everybody everything's not how you think it is. And now I can stand in a nice, comfortable, relaxed position where I can speak to people for you. I swear, God put me through so much where I have had sweats, where I'm the most antisocial person in the world. My face would go and twitch, and like my eye used to twitch. I just thought, at one point I thought, why are you doing this to me? I couldn't even smile, and it was like such a nag to live through my heart. I've had like cysts ripped out and burnt out of my face, all sorts of things, man. Like really sensitive person to emotions and light and other people's energy. And it was just like, just got to a point where I was like, come on, man. And I thought, oh, I'm 23. And even though I was happy and I was having babies, I was like, literally like, don't worry, life will be, you can live falsely as people want you to live, and life will be over before you know it. Like literally like that. And then I realized, no, I can be myself. And it's step by step, guys, about what your message is for the earth. And you're going to lose family, you're going to lose, and not lose them, but like your relationship's going to change when you say that this is how I am. And but you will free yourself. This is for people that are feeling very heavily depressed and stuck in their health. The reason you have these health problems is because you're not listening to your heart. And it might be for really silly reasons that you're amplifying, like, because the people around you are still going to love you no matter what. They might be, and they need you to do this for them, to free them. Okay? Start freeing your heart and start spreading the word about Glastonbury. And when the festival's on, you'll all probably think, oh, this, that and the other, but do know that that vibration that's happening in that spot is going to vibrate across the whole planet. The planet's not that big, guys. Just get a grip on how big you think the planet is. Much love. Have a good day. Namaste.